What up, fam? You in here?
Yeah, what's up, man?
All right, let me shoot this introduction real quick. Kenfo, let me see what it's talking about. Let me see what it's talking about. Everybody pull up a chair to Delonte. Just so you know, shit, gonna drop this video on respect. Something we talk about quite often. Um, Basically just having respect for the people you around, respect for yourself, and just how we speak things into existence, not realizing that, the whole time while we want to blame life or blame the people around us for the situations that we go through, a lot of times it boils right back down to how you speak, what you think is appropriate. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm pretty sure in that conversation, it's gonna come up about the way I speak. So I'm glad to explain that. But how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Man, slow motion. Had to take a day out just to coast. You know what I'm talking about? As well as
Right.
refocus myself on things. You know what I mean? I've been dealing with this topic a lot. So much so that I'm reminded of my past life. I don't speak about this much, but when I was young, very young, I was a preacher. And oftentimes, before I would speak or before I would be given a message, I would always have to live the different things that I was about to speak about. So, this is definitely another one of those occasions where I'm coming to the people, coming to my family, like, hey, let's talk about these things. And this is something I definitely had to go through before I'm bringing it to you. So, just wanted to first, like I said, make them introductions, see how you doing. Wondered if you had anything you wanted to add to the conversation. But if not, I'm gonna ask you to. I mean, not right now. I'm pretty sure, but let me set the bill just a little bit. Hit mute real quick. I'm getting a little feedback, love.
Okay, hold on one second. Yeah, I'm outside. Hold on one second.
All right. While I'm waiting on you to do that, I want to tell the family to send a shout out first to my brother Delonte popping in on the panel. I'm pretty sure you out there working, doing what he do to make sure the world is a cleaner and a safer place for the people, as well as just putting forth the effort to build something that is going to last for his family, as well as something that his kids can carry on. So we got to applaud that brother. You know what I'm saying? As well, I want to send a special shout out to my brother, Ayo Nation, Big Facts Podcast. I be checking the bro out a lot. You feel me? And I'm not one of those brothers who not gonna show love. I'm a congratulator before I'm ever gonna be a hater. Because I want to be greater myself. You feel me? But personally, this brother drops a lot of things that I be dropping in conversation with people on a private tip. But at the same time, I appreciate the fact that he's putting this thing out here for the people to get. You know what I'm saying? In general. So want to send a shout out to the brother from AO Nation. Um, and I guess I start from there, the inspiration or the influence that I got from my bro. Bro was talking specifically about how a lot of times we don't have belief in ourselves because we've been given entrepreneurship from a form of something that would definitely cause us to implode. And what I mean by that, coming from the streets or coming from an urban background, you know what I'm saying? The first things that are afforded to you is the opportunities to get into some street shit. So when you think about it, it's like they gave you the trap, they gave you the dope game. So eventually you'll be like, man, hold on, this ain't working out. And then you'll go straight to get a job. You would never think back like, hold on, I do got this entrepreneurial spirit I want to do for myself. I do got bigger visions than a job can provide for me. So what route do I go? Or do I merely live a miserable existence of trying to be something that I know I'm not? You feel me? A lot of times
Right.
people ask specifically, like, um, when did you notice you was waking up? For me specifically, I had to basically tell you, shoot, it's been going on since day one. It's been an ongoing process. Everything I've went through has led me to where I am now. So when I think about that, it's like, honestly speaking, family, I've been waking up since day one. What's up, Melly Mel?
What's good, bro?
Man, slow motion. Just trying to speak with the family about this conversation, just about being respectful. Um, Mainly from the perspective of being respectful within relationships and how this really affects us as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
You
How your
you
day
gonna be
going
on
so
for
far,
a
love?
while?
Huh? What'd you say, bro?
I said you gonna be on for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while, but I'm gonna come back on when we do our thing later too, though. I just,
Okay. Yeah,
boiling over right
I might I might be able to hop back on here in a minute. I gotta wrap something up. I was just checking in with you. I ain't mean
now.
to interrupt.
Appreciate you checking in, love. Shit, you can stay on the panel until you gotta drop off, or if you feel the need to, pop back in, just let me know.
Well, hell, what I'm about to do, I probably won't be able to hear anyway. But
Ah, yeah, you gotta get busy.
yeah. But all right, I'll check back with you, see if you're still on about an hour.
All right, appreciate you coming through, love.
All right.
So that's another one of the bros that's on that entrepreneurial spirit. We both had to go through our trials and tribulations to recognize what was our paths. I can honestly say that it was trying, you feel me? But when you're trying to do something, you eventually get through to your goals. Gonna give me 1 second. I'm gonna Delonte, you back? Delonte, you back
Yes,
on
sir.
deck? All right. All right. I got some questions I'm gonna throw out there because I was just on my brother's suicide channel not too long ago, and we was building about the queens who have got touched out there in Oakland. I don't know if you're familiar with the news story. Have you heard about it, bro?
Nah.
All right. Just to give a brief synopsis, not to say that it ain't worthy of a long one. The sisters out in Oakland were basically they was catching the bus, I think, and they were attacked. It was two sisters. One of them was 18, one of them was 21. I want to say one of them had their throat slit, and I think the other one was just stabbed. But the one whose throat was slit was she died. So we looking at a case where um, I could write it off to somebody having a form of self hatred that came out in a way of them affecting somebody else.
Right.
Right. Just wanted to get your feedback on that. I know a lot of times when these situations come up, everybody got everything to say, like, what did these sisters do to provoke this? But it don't change the fact we're seeing a pattern here. When it gets to a point, you're seeing a pattern, even when it comes to like these homicide shows. When they start seeing patterns, they don't no longer look at the victims as though the victims are enticing these people. The different actions that the victims take become more or less triggers. You know what I'm saying? But they still don't look at these victims like, oh yeah, they knew this man would react this way. They look at it like, darn, this victim ain't had no clue that they normal
Did
way
they
of
know
going
this guy,
about
or was this just a
it.
random?
Say that again now.
Did they know about? Did they know the person, or was this just random?
It seems as though it was random, given that the sisters was coming back from a life celebration event.
And
I
they were
want to say
brown,
it was,
correct?
yeah, correct. I want to say the
Oh, okay.
sisters was the sister who passed. It was her boyfriend that they was going to a celebration for. He actually drowned some years back, and they was on their way back from a celebration of life or whatever. And it was like the anniversary of that shit. So for them to get killed by way, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm reminded of some statements that I heard growing up, like um, let the dead bury the dead. Like sometimes, you walk around with an energy on you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even recognize that you putting forth that energy, but it comes from the things that you're thinking. So I could be sitting over here, thinking about people that I lost. And somewhere down the line, I draw in that same energy. No blame can be put forth to somebody who doesn't understand that concept. Even though we're not blaming you, it doesn't change the outcome. You feel me?
Right.
Obviously, it still causes people to, find themselves in a plight where they lose their life. But a lot of times I think that we can attribute a lot of what we call racism or living in a society with white supremacy. I can attribute at least 50% of that to, now this is going away from the sisters. Like, I don't want nobody to think I'm anyway relating that these sisters thought less of themselves, so therefore they brought that on themselves. I'm speaking in general, us as a people. Sometimes we find ourselves in a place of hopelessness to the point we don't think we deserve better than what we get.
Right.
So much so that when things happen to us, we look at it like, hold on, what you thought was gonna happen? You feel me? You was out that time of night. What you thought was gonna happen? You had them kind of clothes on. Like, but it really don't fall back on that. It falls back to the nature of people. And if there's a group of people who it consistently goes back to these people having a certain way of dealing with anybody outside of them, as well as how they deal with themselves, we can no longer write this off as like a random act. You feel me? Even if these sisters don't know this dude, it's still not random at this point. When we live in a society where it's deemed acceptable for you to do this type of stuff. Like,
and keeping in mind that some people get triggered by some things, such as it could be a female getting triggered by males that wear skinny jeans, and then she go and kill them. You know what I mean? And what people have to understand is there's two sides to every story. And that, what I just said out of my mouth is a lie. There's three sides to every story. There's your story, their story, and the truth. And then there's also what people think is the truth. So technically there's four. And I was talking about that this morning with my wife. And I don't know much about that situation, but what I do know is with the federal government, with like taxes, with the IRS and stuff like that, they make that mandatory for you to have to pay your taxes. They make it mandatory for you to have to go and renew your license, get that sticker in the state of Ohio every year, get an emissions check or an inspection like they do here in North Carolina. And they make those things mandatory for your for your safety, right? So if they actually cared about the safety of a certain group of people, what they would do is they would, one thing that I think that should happen is, given a solution, and more so my opinion, because I don't know much about the story, it should be mandatory for every neighborhood to have a neighborhood watch. And if something goes down in that area, everybody gets questioned. The police goes to everybody's house because we pay them their wages, right? So we should have that service where they come to everybody's house and question them. And after so many times of things happening in that area, instead of the property value going down, it should go up because you don't deserve to live in this area. Now, that may sound fucked up, but what you have to understand is it will hold people accountable. And because people aren't being held accountable, you know what I mean? Now, there are people that's going to do what they do, such as with one thing being car insurance. Not everybody has car insurance, but it's mandatory. So, yeah, everybody's not going to follow suit, but you'll be able to spot those people and catch those people faster that aren't following suit. And then you'll get to know who they know. And then you'll start to question, okay, well, maybe they not being investigated. Now, it'll cause problems. You know what I'm saying? But if you want a solution, the solution may not be easy. People want things that's going to be easy and comfortable. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to get uncomfortable to get results. So, and that deals with anything as far as business, crime, going to church, not going to church, being part of an organization, being part of a community. You're going to have to do things that are going to be uncomfortable to get what you want and what you expect. And if we want something to change, instead of just saying, hey, you know, we sick of this happening. We should talk to our councilmen, councilwomen, talk to our mayor. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you know, that's one of the things that I learned when I moved away from Cleveland, or I would have done it while I was there, you know. But just saying, hey, we don't like the way this is going. And then a lot of people just keep, you know, living every day to day, trying to figure out the next deal at Aldi's, you know, because we all have lives. That's normal. I'm not saying that's not normal for people to wonder the deals at Aldi's. I'm just saying, you know, we get so focused on our day to day, we don't really pay attention to, you know, what's going on around us. You know, so if somebody get killed,
Right.
oh man, wrong place, wrong time. You know what I mean? Oh, this keep happening. These young people tripping. You know, but we're not holding nobody accountable. So if we're not holding nobody accountable, it sounds like to me we just as accountable as the person who did it. You know? So that's it. That's what I got.
I definitely feel you on that. And one part I want to deal with, because I think it requires a lot of, you know, sensitivity training on behalf of the police officers if we gonna, you know, have them in our neighborhoods like that.
That's a whole different topic. I feel like if you're not from that neighborhood, you shouldn't be able to patrol that neighborhood.
Not even just that, like with the neighborhood watches that you spoke of, we must form organizations. We must form organizations that would be, they would act as like gatekeepers for the, what's that, brother? There ain't no more. You have to talk to mom, okay? Later. See you in a minute. But we would have to form, you know, gatekeepers through those neighborhood watches. You know what I'm saying? The people that know the people in the neighborhood and how to address these people properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean by the whole respect and watch your mouth. Because one thing that might not be viewed as disrespect to you can be deemed as total disrespect. As well as, okay, with these police officers, a lot of times it boils down to their safety over ours. So, and they safety come into play with them not understanding our movements, how we move, and how, you know what I'm saying, just how we function in general. So it tends to be, it's almost like talking to somebody who speaks a different language. You know, there's going to be a lot of miscommunication. So in this miscommunication, we see people dying as a result. You feel me? So when I think about that, it's like one of the things that I would definitely suggest that we implement would be some gatekeepers through the neighborhood watches. And, you know, the neighborhood watches can't stop it just when some crime happens. You feel me? Neighborhood watch got to consist of, you know, we walking like crime prevention. You feel me? And that can, you know, start from like monitoring the kids back and forth to school, monitoring the kids when they out of school. You know what I'm saying? Just making sure everything, really asking people how they doing and really wanting to know. You know what I'm saying? So once you gauge the temperature of your neighborhood, it's kind of hard not to know what's going on before the police show up. Like the police is kind of like, they don't deal with the side effect.
Right. And I know crime, you know, crime gonna happen pretty much anywhere we go. I'm a little quiet today because I came in and my client is actually still in the building. I just came outside to the car to see if I can find my headphones, and they might get offended by what I say. I don't care. But one of the things is that I definitely understand, and people all over the world understand, is crime is going to happen regardless. You know what I mean? Crime is going to happen. That's just the way of the world. But if we could minimize the unknown incidents, then we could make a difference. So we may save that person that was going to be a good mayor, that was going to make a difference. We could save that person that was a good father or mother or teacher or whatever they was going to be, a phenomenal pastor that's going to tell the truth, or a rabbi, whatever they is in their life. We can save that one person by just having somebody actually look out their window, you know, walk around, take care, you know, of the litter in the neighborhood, pick up, you know. And it sounds corny because, you know, I didn't do it for a long time, but just yesterday I was like, people gonna look at me outside my window like this dude out here picking up like somebody's grandpa. But I picked up the litter in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do that every weekend, because when the maintenance man leave, people feel like because they live in, you know, a low income area that they could just mess up. But we live in a nice low income area. We don't live in the hood. We just live where it's just people just unfortunate. You know what I mean? So crime don't happen often. But when you got, you know, these girls coming up missing and these boys coming up dead, you know, not being talked to and saying, hey, you know, that might not be a good idea to talk to the police like that, or just even asking your child or your spouse or your grandfather or grandmother, you know, how do you talk to the police when they pull you over? And then they give you an answer. You know what I'm saying? If it's something cool, then cool. If it's something that you think is a little aggressive, then you say, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. You know, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? But just taking ownership of everything in your life, everything around you, every street you drive down to get to your house, the last 3 streets you drive to get to your house, taking ownership of those areas within yourself. I mean, gangs do it, but they do it to be thugging and bugging. You know what I mean? So when you do it, you're doing it to create love, peace, you know, around the area. And some people don't like talking to people. You know what I mean? So we have to understand that. But we who like to talk to people, you know, we smile when we come in the room, and not every day is going to be peaches and cream. That's BS. I don't care what nobody say. You can make your day great every day. Nah, nigga, because if I was great every day, you might want to watch out for my bad day, because I never, you know, had an experience of, you know, dealing with my bad days. You know what I mean? So when I'm having a bad day, watch out. But, you know, that incident, whatever it is, should have never happened. It should have been somebody there, or somebody that seen that girl. It was some woman, I'm sure, grown-ass woman, that drove past this child and seen her at the bus stop. I don't know if, you know, she was dressed a certain way or whatever, you know, seeing her and just, you know, sat in the car and waited. Like, my wife has actually stopped the car. And I was like, you know, I feel like a pervert because we watching these children walk to school. Well, she didn't like the way this car kept circling. And when the car seen the kids, it circled. So we, you know, and it's been one time where my wife pulled up on somebody and asked the kid was that their parent, because the kid was crying and screaming. And the kid was like, just looked at her like, what the fuck? Nobody ever does that. And it was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, well, that's your mom, you know, so you might want to be a little nicer to your mother. And that kid just put his head down and kept it moving. Now, me, I got to get the bolitas, motherfucker, to do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm you know what I mean? But, you know, if we as men decide, hey, you know, we seeing these young mothers snatching up these little boys. I decided yesterday I was going to say something at Walmart. I asked the lady, hey, you know, why you snatching on them like that? She told me to mind my fucking business. But at the end of the day, I took it upon myself to say something like, hey, what you're doing is wrong. You're just snatching this little boy. Because he was looking behind him, because it was somebody behind him that was about to hit him with a cart, because they weren't paying attention. And she just snatches him because she mad, because she got embarrassed. You know, it's little stupid shit that we do all the time, that we just do unnecessarily. And people come up hurt, kids come up beat, women come up missing, dudes come up shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dogs, you know, whatever. But what we need to do is take ownership and be held accountable for what happens in our neighborhood. But, you know, the government will never do that, because everybody be tripping out. They can't be strict like that, because some people, you know, it's people in the world that don't like rules. Can you agree? They just don't like fucking rules. They don't like authority. They don't like nothing. Anything that tells them what they doing is wrong. That's why so many people hate church, because anything that tells them they're doing wrong, they immediately become stale. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna say what I'm doing wrong? That's just me. I've been like this and I've been okay. Well, what you need to understand is, hey, and that may have been who you are. That may have been what you did, but something needs to change to make you a better person, because you need to be better every day. You know what I mean? And if we try to just take that
every day and everything.
Yeah, so that's what the government needs to enforce. Like, hey, every area, you're responsible for this area. Kind of like that whole adopt a highway type shit, you know, where businesses adopt little areas, street names, and they take care of that street or whatever the case may be. And kind of like that, you know, hold the people who move into that area, you know, have everybody welcome the new neighbors. I know that sounds so like corny, but had the older women or the older gentlemen say, hey, you know, welcome to the area, because ain't nobody our age gonna do that. I ain't just walking up to nobody's crib like, yo, hey, my name Delonte. You know, they're gonna be like, nigga, get away from my door. But if it's an old person, you'd be like, oh, thank you, you know, grandma, grandpa, you know, whatever. and they come up and they say, "Hey,
Right.
welcome to the neighborhood. My name is, you know, what's the old name? Gertrude. My name is Gertrude, and you know, Miss Gertrude, and you know, if you guys need anything, let me know. I just want to let you know about this street. You know, if the kids gonna play, don't have them on that end because this is crime. And believe it or not, Red, that's why when you came over our house, it was never an issue, you know, on our street as far as gun violence, because we had 3 old ladies on our street and a police officer. Now, the police officer, he used to be, you know, thugging and bugging outside, but the older ladies would be outside picking up litter, you know, but I never seen no older men doing it. You know what I mean? So older black men to be exact, you know what I'm saying? But I seen older black women doing it. And I was just like, you know, if we all took a nurturing spirit towards our neighborhoods and a nurturing spirit towards our surroundings, these type of situations won't happen. That was just a long-winded version of what I was trying to say. So,
No. That was a perfect synopsis. You know what I'm saying? To bring it full circle. That's why it's the round table. Sometimes we gotta go all the way around that table to make sure everybody get fed. You feel me?
Right.
And I'm pretty sure the directions that you went in, no matter who was listening to what you was saying, they could catch something that, you know, they could find that would be applicable to them and they lane that they could, you know, to put forth solutions. So when I think about it, it's definitely why I think, you know, people from different backgrounds, or who appear they come from different backgrounds. Because, you know, me coming from the South, we a lot of people may feel like we're too nice, you know what I'm saying, or too pleasant. But me growing up, the more I grow up, I realize why my mother or why my grandmother carved it on watch how you talk to people. The older I get, I start seeing a lot more of my
Hold on
friends.
1 second. I'm sorry. My car finally shut its mouth. Sorry about that.
But I was just saying, like, I started seeing a lot more of my friends fall victim to the words that came out of their mouth or the things that they spoke into their life. For me personally, I know it to be true. Like, as soon as you say I can't do something, I can't. You feel me? I remember my hard childhood trying to appease my mother when it came to getting my math grades up, but I kept telling myself I can't do it. So I never did add up. You know what I mean? So when you think about that, it's like we gotta check ourselves on the things that we think is necessary to come out of our mouth. Just because you want to say it, don't mean you gotta say it. Honestly speaking, you know what I mean? My grandmother would literally pop me in my mouth when I would say things that wasn't necessary. Now, I'm not saying we gotta go back to, you know, popping kids in the mouth, but we done got so far off basis to the point it's like, man, where do we start? Where do we begin? Because even in setting the tone or setting an example, we keep finding ourselves as adults in situations that we don't want to be in, and we find ourselves having to deal with things in ways that we ain't necessarily proud of. But given the circumstances, we got to be honest with our kids. Like, look, bro, we in the hole right now. So it's going to be a lot of things that you see me do that I don't want you to have to do going forward. That's why I'm doing it now. But as far as the way that we speak to each other in general when we're going through this, it's a way to do that. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people probably hear me on the channel speaking the way I speak. I call it the hood jargon. You feel me? When I say shit, fuck, damn, you know what I'm saying? These are words that I heard growing up in the streets as accents to people's words. And it wasn't that they meant total disrespect, because to me the disrespect come in when you calling somebody out their name.
Right.
Some other than what their mother called them, as well as treating someone like they stupid. So yeah, these words could be utilized to treat someone like they stupid, but for the most part, the people that I heard speak in this manner, like, motherfucker, you gonna act like you got some sense, or you gonna get the hell away from around here. These people were the realest. I didn't have to worry about how they truly felt about me. They let it be known. So don't get it twisted. Mouth, it don't mean, oh yeah, we're gonna be on some PG-13. You're not gonna be cussing. Look, and let's get this straight up and down. Before they was talking about curse words, we've been using these terms. So how can these terms be deemed later on as curse words? Not even just that. Okay, they want us to be shamed of using the word damn. But damn is in the Bible. Say you be damned to hell. Now this is the same book that gives people, as well as teaches them how to deal with spirituality. So when we get to the point of we trying to be positive, we trying to be on the right path, we have to check ourselves and make sure the things that we are applying or the things that we bringing up are actually applicable to our plight to getting out of this shit. Like, I can sit here and say all day, if we had more money, we'd be all right. But if that ain't coupled with love for ourselves first, then we only gonna use that money to try to shine on the next motherfucker, not realizing that's you that you trying to outstunt. That's you that you trying to outdo. You feel me? Maybe you trying to outdo your struggle that you went through. But in doing that, you lose the sight of the tools that you could be putting in place. Like everything that you buy should be used as a tool for your upliftment. And if it ain't, you can't blame nobody else for the situation you in other than yourself. Because you chose not to put the time in while you was here. You feel me? You spent more time disrespecting other people and their lifestyles or the ways that they choose to go about getting it together themselves. You chose to spend more time speaking on them. So while you was speaking on them, they was getting their shit together. But all the while, you sitting over here speaking down on the next person, wondering why you still going down. You know what I'm saying? If you can dish it, you better be willing to take it. I don't understand how we can live in a world where it's okay for us to have gossip show up on gossip show. And we're not talking about, hey, look, bro, I'm only talking about this because, you know, I don't know you like that, but let me pull you to the side. If you do run across this video, fam, I'm talking about this so other people can learn from these experiences, as well as I got something to offer you. Look, bro, I done been through that, so this is what you need to do. But instead of that, you hear a lot more people just, you know, giving their opinions on people's lives. And from the standpoint of what you know you wouldn't do your darn self.
Right.
But because you want to say it, you say it, you feel me? And you say the most outlandish shit for other people to do, knowing you ain't finna bust a grip. You know what I'm saying? Like, something I just seen in the comments, and this ain't no disrespect to my bruh. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by the name, bruh, he coming with it. You know what I'm saying? His name Shots Fired. Now, I don't want to misquote the brother, but I want to say he said something to the extent of he wants to just shoot every, you know what I'm saying, bruh, he see what they pants say. Like, to me, bruh, I can definitely understand your perspective. I can understand where that's coming from. But at the end of the day, that's borderline disrespect. It's borderline disrespect. Because we know getting down well, that shit didn't come from nowhere. Brothers walking around sagging. Sagging ain't our problem. Honestly speaking, the brothers sagging ain't got shit to do with why we in the predicament we in. It's honestly a side effect of what we going through. So if I was to give a brief synopsis of my lifestyle and how sagging even came into a place in my life, I remember growing up and getting hand-me-down. You feel me? Often the waist didn't fit. I'm a very athletic good brother with an invisible waist. Funny shit. But anyway, long story short, it became a point where I couldn't mask the fact that my clothes didn't fit. So I would find myself holding my pants, but I would be holding my pants with the look of shame. And eventually, I got tired of being ashamed of my struggle. You know what I'm saying? It became a few little outfits that was handed down to me. Shoot, I thought it looked nice on me. So a whole new swag came with it. You feel me? Started holding my pants in a manner that was like, shoot, yeah, nigga, we struggling. And shoot, I look good in this struggle. You know what I'm saying? And so for the most part, me sagging came of shit. The ironicness is we was left assed out. So let's just be point blank period about that. So if anybody got a problem with these young brothers sagging, explain why it was okay for a whole generation of young males to be left assed out. And this shit is still continuing. When you talk about how, you know, the extent that people will go to get a male's attention when they trying to inflict consequence on him. They would go as far as to embarrass you in public and snatch you up as though you have no feelings. And when you start crying, stop crying like a little girl. And that automatically implies anytime you have some feeling as a man, you're acting outside of what you should be.
And you also, I
So
mean,
there,
I definitely agree.
Mhm.
I definitely agree with what you're saying as far as the sagging pants, but you also got to look at it from another person's perspective. You know, saying that,
Right. That's why I
you know,
took it into account
yeah, not exactly what he said. I mean, I be want to
to
slap.
even address
I
it.
don't want to shoot nobody, but I do want to slap him. I get he was being a little, you know, probably being a little exaggerating. But one of the things that I don't
It
like
goes
about
to this extent for some pain stuff. But the sister just got cut up. I don't hear nobody talking about, yeah, you feel me? We gonna handle that. Say
right,
no more. Say no more. And
right,
even with the sagging pants, you not gonna see a brother in the street right now and roll up. You not.
no,
Cause that's a different uniform, and you know that. That's a whole nother uniform. Just like you see that police uniform. You know not to run up with the dumb shit. So let's keep that off the table. Like
because
any violence towards our people, you know what I'm saying, as a result of what we all in the midst of, and everybody got their different ways of dealing with their struggles. Like that shit ain't necessary, bro. That shit ain't necessary. But I do respect your perspective. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: in 2018 going forward, you might want to lose that because you're gonna run up on your comrade bullshit, and they're gonna let you have it. Like I said, that's a uniform. This is not a group of people that's about that play. They don't care what you say about them. Cause I know I didn't. I wanted to be
right.
different than the norm because I felt like the norm was not beneficial to me. So just to show them, yeah, I see the play, I see the setup. Guess what? I'm finna position myself over here to let you know I'm not participating in that shit. I'm not trying to look like the
So
niggas who came before me. Nor am I trying to separate from the niggas in my hood that's going through the same shit that I'm going through.
So we got Goodwills. I mean, we've been had Goodwills where they can go, you know, Salvation Armies and
Oh
things
yeah.
like that. One of the suggestions I would give is to maybe go and get some of them dudes some pants. You know what I mean? What that actually may
Right,
fit
right.
them. You know, you good? You need some new pants, or don't even ask them because they're gonna say nah. You know, but some people just do it to do it. They don't have no reason. They just want to feel cool, and that's not cool because it's sloppy. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you're presentable because if you're trying to make you're trying to get somewhere in this world, first presentation is everything. First impression is everything. How you present yourself as well. So first presentation matters just as first impression. It's pretty much the same thing. So you want to present yourself in a way that says,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I can be a business owner. Hey, you could hire me. Hey, you could do this. And if your pants don't fit, then it's certain circumstances that, niggas know. Because I remember many times where, homies was sagging their pants and I was like, that dude pants tight. They don't fit. Leave that dude alone. You know what I mean?
You
But,
trying to
as
get
an
some growth
adult,
in that
you
thing,
got
yeah.
45, 50-year-old men sagging their pants. There is no excuse for that. When we give people excuses, we're not just giving them, it could be a reason, it could be whatever, people call it, but it's at the end of the day, it's an excuse. So you can't keep, we can't keep giving people excuses. Oh, well, they probably killed them because they had a mental disorder. Or they probably sagging their pants because their pants don't fit. People need accountability. That's what I was talking about, accountability. So I wouldn't say, kill him. I do agree with you. He should refrain from that, leave that, kill it dead. That hate that could have possibly potentially led him to say that. But the extreme dislike, because it's not hate, it's just like, nigga, come on, nigga shit,
Nah, I
like
know where
Samoa
you
said,
coming from.
nigga
Like
shit. It be like, nigga,
you,
pull your motherfucking pants up, because I don't want to see a male's ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no
nah,
male
I know
booty.
where you
And if a
peep this shit
female,
though.
as
I know
fine
where
as
you
she
coming
is,
from though.
came around with sagging pants, you know how many, like, nigga, we look at girls' butts when they walk past, right? But if they pants was sagging, we'd be like, that sloppy built bitch. Like, because at the end of the day, we know that is not okay. So if I'm saying it's okay for a nigga to do that, I'm either a Rudy Tootie, or, you know what I'm saying? No offense to the gays, but I'm either like on a DL, or, you know what I'm saying? It's something wrong with what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Making it okay for one and not the other. I'm holding a woman to a higher standard than what I am. Why? You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Why? Because
uh,
I'm trying to
I
open
mean,
up a
cause
gateway for me to say, oh, I got an excuse in this area. Anytime I'm around my homeboys, I tell them to pull their pants up. Period. Hey man, pull your pants up. Because you ain't gonna be around me looking like somebody that just don't
give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If we walk into the store and we meet an Indian guy and he own a business and he looking for people to work for him, he just happened to be in the store. We're going to get a couple shells. He looking for somebody. He just in the store and he say, hey, I like them guys right there. Hey y'all, my name's such and such and I got this going on. Woo woo woo. You know, that's how I actually got in to be an extra with the movie Draft Day. I seen somebody in the store and they was like, yo, do you do theater? Like, yeah, I do theater. Okay, we looking for somebody, you know, they got this little talent agency. And I looked into it. It was legit. And then I ended up meeting Kevin Costner and Jennifer Gardner because I was dressed appropriate. I was still pulled in, you know what I'm saying? But I made sure my daughter, she don't know no other store for real, but Goodwill and Salvation Army. And they better not have no Skechers there because she just don't like Skechers. But she like New Balance and she like K-Swiss. But I don't understand, you know, she don't like Jordans. That's not her thing. So everybody got their own, you know, motive for why they do things or why they may like some things and why they don't like things. But I think in general, that is not the problem. Sagging is not the problem. Poverty is the problem. You know, the lack of being held accountable. Like, hey, you know, here goes some pants. Hey, I gave you some pants the other week, man. Them fit. What's going on? Now, I just like to be cool, motherfucker. Like, okay, well, you just like to be cool. But I want you to know this. If the police pull you over, they're going to assume because they ignorant that you're a thug. Like, so you better be an outstanding citizen today with lower pants. Like, you just better be fucking phenomenal. You better not jaywalk. You better use them white lines. You better do everything you can. The whole nature of the game is to stay alive. Pride will kill you. Saying, I ain't got to do that shit. I'm a person too. Nigga, they don't see you as a person. Don't spend so much time trying to get them to believe that you're a person. Act like a person and be the person that you are, not who you were taught to be. Nobody came out sagging, man. That shit ain't even cute on babies. When they diaper sag, you nigga motherfucker change the diaper. You feel me? Put on a diaper that fit. Because if you sag, shit come out the diaper. They would write shit in the air. I'm being stupid, but I'm just, you know, this is, it's just.
No. I feel you. I mean, a lot of which I agree with comes to accountability, but I feel like the sense of accountability don't fall on the less fortunate. It falls on the person who's making the assessment. So for me to sit there and tell another grown man to pull my pants up, like that's another form to me of disrespect. Because I'm grown as fuck. Came out the house, I came out the house.
I don't know.
Like it, you don't got, gave you your piece. You don't like it, you don't gotta look this way. That's another part of being an adult. We choose what we choose to focus on. So to put focus on pants when the obvious issue is not these brothers' pants, they could be sagging or they could have their shit up past their navel and you still gonna get shot because the reason ain't that. You know what I'm saying? You can say yes sir, no sir, all that shit. That ain't gonna get it. Now I'm saying we gotta have respect amongst each other because as long as we can allow for each one of us to sit there and pick and choose, oh yeah, I don't like this brother because he do this. But honestly, you don't realize those whole stereotypes came from somebody outside of your group. The first motherfucker that had a problem with sagging pants was not a nigga. The first motherfucker to create a situation for a nigga to even have sagging pants was not a nigga. So for us to be arguing in the midst of the problem, who the problem, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. Okay, now I got you focusing on saggy pants when really that's a cowardice way out. When the real issue is, man, we got motherfuckers prove themselves to be human, trying to dictate what is humanity, what is civil. How you got a whole group of
even like even mongoose.
Who?
I said even mongoose. I was watching Animal Planet the other day. Even mongoose eat snakes. If anybody know that mongoose, they eat snakes. So the mongoose was going after the snake. He was trying to get the copperhead snake. He tried to come up on it. He did everything he could, but the snake bit his ass and he left. And he realized this snake ain't fucking around. Like they adapt. My point of bringing that up is animals even adapt to the predator, or you know, if they the prey. So the predator being the cop, and we being the prey. Why is it so hard for us to understand that sometimes you just gotta bow the fuck out and maybe talk to their supervisor and shit like that? Like if you know, sagging ain't the case, but we don't want to kind of like dress up like they meal, like the shit they like to fuck up, like the shit they like to hate. Why would I do that?
But we
If
don't
an
tell
animal
no
know,
other group.
why don't I know?
We don't. It don't like that's the point though, bro. We don't tell no other group conform, and they'll leave you alone. We got so many diverse niggas out here. I'm
because
pretty
we
sure
gonna
there's
do
some
it.
yes sirs, no sirs out here. You feel me? But it don't change the facts is I done seen good niggas get killed. Like that's bad, bro. To even have a concept of a good nigga.
Nah, ain't no
Like,
such
do
thing
you
as a good
realize
nigga, because you know you got to understand, like, even
that's what you talking about?
no, I'm talking about not becoming a eating prey, like being on the ground dead, being something that they want you to be. And you see, you know,
But
there
you
is
you
no good
find that out
niggas.
about distinguishing the differences,
If
bro.
there's
Like what you
somebody
just
that
said, a mongoose and a snake. They know, nigga, we not the motherfucking same. So we deal with each other accordingly.
right,
But it's not our uniform. Like sagging pants came on the scene and it had a trend, you feel me? But obviously the shit ain't going away. So obviously the condition hasn't went away. That's all I'm saying. Like, we can't keep on dealing with the side effect, which is the young boy who's sagging nowadays and don't know where that shit started from.
I'm only talking about
And
sagging.
I'm telling you right now, it don't got one exception. It don't got one
I'm only
exception. I
talking
always
about
hear that
sagging
faggot
because
shit.
you brought it
And I
up. So
feel
that's the only
like
reason I'm talking about sagging.
but you got to be careful with that, bro. Because something I learned, like, I don't speak about gays that much because if you put focus on one thing, sure enough, as you putting focus on it, you're involved in it. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I say I'm talking about gays, I don't like gays, bro. You talking about gays shows you that's your life. You feel me?
Right.
You more concerned about that than your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna live my life trying to figure out, oh, did I cross the gay line? Did I do this? No, nigga, I'm not gay, so I don't check myself like that. You feel me? And they always want to go back to this whole sagging thing started in jail. Nothing has one inception. Yes, there was brothers that was less fortunate in jail, didn't have no motherfucking belt too. You know what I'm saying? And there was perversions of that shit where niggas was like, you know what? From now on, since we on this over here, we're gonna sag just to let certain people know this. But it's more than one reason for that condition. So for a person to just be like, oh yeah, that's gay. No, it's gay to be looking at another man's ass. Because obviously you looking at his ass whether his pants up or not. So we gotta check ourselves on that shit. Like, damn, are we like dogs? Cause you ever seen dogs sit back and just look at each other ass all day, sniff each other ass, all that good shit. So we gotta check ourselves when we sitting over here worrying about what's on the next motherfucker ass or not. Like, because honestly speaking, if we put more focus on anything other than sagging pants, we'd be further off, and we probably wouldn't have this condition where kids are at this point sagging and they don't even know why. Aside from shit like you said, this trend then switched over to tight ass pants, and now they sagging because they need breathing room for their private.
Right. We have to focus though on the whole big picture. If you are lunch, you don't dress up like lunch. That's all I'm saying. The hot dog don't put the goddamn mustard and ketchup on itself. So like we have to make sure that when we do things, we're not trying to just be a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because that's ridiculous. I wouldn't say that. But one of the things that we should do is say, okay, I see this guy. I ain't gonna give him no problem, no reason, like no earthly reason to do something because he thought I provoked him. Now, if he do something that's on him, that's something I couldn't stop. But I don't need to be a hard ass in front of somebody that's a piece of shit. Like it'll be pointless. It's wasting my energy, my time, my preciousness. Okay, you know what I'm saying? My loving self is wasting all of me to extend an arm out to this motherfucker trying to be a quote unquote good nigga. And in order to see myself as a good nigga, I would have to have an opinion of what I think they want. I don't give a fuck what they want. What I want for me is, hey, I don't personally sag my pants. I don't feel the need to. Even when I was a kid, I had floods. I used to feel violated, like people might have been, checking me out or whatever the case may be. So I made sure that I kept my pants. That was just something I was taught. So that's pretty much it. But going with everything and making sure that that isn't the only reason we doing it, to appease somebody else. That is what we have to check every time. You know what I mean? I don't think he's still on here. So yeah, that is my synopsis of everything. But we do need to focus on more than just sagging pants. Focus on things like, um, giving back to the community. Focus on things like making sure that we hold people accountable. I mean, there's hundreds of different things that we could be focusing on, other than sagging pants, other than what the next person ain't doing. All depends on what this person isn't doing. So, sagging pants ain't the issue. So that's all I got to say.